China has officially introduced two mandatory national standards for civil drones, marking one of the most significant regulatory pivots in the country's rapidly expanding unmanned aviation sector. As the world's largest producer of commercial drones and a major exporter, China's move signals not only a desire for stronger domestic governance, but also an ambition to influence global norms. Today, we break down what these standards mean for manufacturers, operators, international markets, and the future of drone technology worldwide. The first standard focuses on operational safety requirements, which includes strengthened guidelines for flight stability, communication links, energy systems, and emergency response modes. In simple terms, China wants every drone flying in its airspace to be significantly more resilient to weather, communication failures, and battery malfunctions. This is especially important for drones used in logistics, agriculture, mapping, and emergency response, sectors where China has been pushing automation as a national priority. The second mandatory standard concerns data and information security, a topic that has long been politically sensitive. This standard tightens requirements for data encryption, storage protocols, real-time telemetry, and the management of remote identification systems. It resembles the emerging frameworks seen in the European Union and the United States, but with a uniquely Chinese emphasis on state oversight and digital sovereignty. Together, these standards represent Beijing's attempt to close regulatory gaps that had become increasingly visible as drones grew more powerful and widespread. Over the past few years, China has faced incidents involving unauthorized flights near airports, drone misuse for illicit activities, and concerns about the cybersecurity risks tied to high-resolution aerial imaging. The government now wants to ensure that civil drones are not only technologically advanced, but also compliant with national security expectations. On the global stage, the impact may be even more significant. Chinese companies dominate more than 70% of the world's consumer and commercial drone market. With mandatory standards now in place, manufacturers such as DJI, Autel, and EHang will need to redesign and certify products to meet the new requirements. This redesign could influence the default settings, safety features, and data handling architecture of drones exported around the world. International buyers may find themselves adopting Chinese regulatory frameworks by default, simply because complying with Chinese standards becomes the baseline for mass-produced hardware. This is reminiscent of the way European automobile emission rules indirectly shaped global car manufacturing. China's drone standards may follow a similar path, especially in regions that lack strong aviation regulations of their own. There is also a geopolitical angle. Drone technology has increasingly found itself in the center of US-China tech tensions. Washington has raised concerns about data security in Chinese drones, prompting restrictions and the search for domestic alternatives. Beijing's new security-focused standard may be interpreted as an attempt to regain global trust, or alternatively, as a move to formalize stricter control over a strategic industry. For China's domestic market, the standards will create a more structured environment for innovation. Companies will now have clearer boundaries within which to operate. For global partners, the new rules may offer greater predictability, though also new compliance burdens. Overall, China's mandatory drone standards represent more than technical guidelines. They reflect the country's vision for becoming a global leader not just in drone production, but in drone governance. As drones become central to logistics, security, agriculture, transport, and smart city systems, whoever shapes the standards will shape the future. And today, China has taken a decisive step in that direction.